one name. So I did that, but I don't have all of them yet. But the thing is, when we did that Richard book training last summer, one of the things I got out of it is that I really need to be I want to be an authentic networker. I don't want to just call everybody that's, within 5 feet of me, I just put people's names on that list. I didn't really prejudge them. I just stuck them on the list. They were Facebook friends. I just stuck them on the list. But some of them, I don't really feel like it's authentic to call them because I really don't really talk to them. So that's why I don't really want to put them all on there. I just get the calendar and just throw them all on there, and it wouldn't be authentic,
Can I address that?
Yeah. Mm-hmm.
Anybody that you call out of the blue, it's hard. That's not really how if you're doing it online or if you're doing it in person, you still have to have that relationship. So what is recommended is that you go on Facebook and you create conversation with them. And you build that relationship first. It takes more time, but you watch their stuff, you comment back and forth on somebody, and that whenever you post, if you go and comment and do people's stuff 10 minutes before you make a post, when you're talking about Facebook friends, and then you do the same, you like and comment 10 minutes after your post, that's how they get to see your stuff. That's how you start that interaction. And then you do messaging back and forth and tell me what's new in your life. And then after a period of time, after you feel comfortable, that's when you talk to them. I don't think it's right to go and blast anybody.
Okay, so I thought you meant to take all those names and put them on your calendar. Just stick all those names on your calendar.
Well, I find people, but you know what? The whole purpose is to reach out to that person that day. So if you've got somebody you don't know on your calendar, then you reach out to them. You make some kind of a connection with them on that day. And then, pick 5 people that you're going to do that with. And then pick another 5 people that you're going to do that with. But don't put people on those days that you still know. Better. Okay. So you're not just, making touches with everybody and not really talking to anybody.
Yeah. Because then I don't feel like I'm getting anywhere,
Yeah.
So that's also good though, because then especially if you do that on Facebook, if you're doing that and liking their stuff or messaging them, hey, I just wanted to reach out, I haven't talked to you in a while, then you'll be on their radar.
Yes.
So the things that you post then will now be on their radar. If you're posting anything about Prove It Challenge, then they might be seeing it more. So that's an authentic way of doing it. I agree, Julie. It feels better that way instead of just, hey, I haven't talked to you for 4 years, but here I am.
Exactly. Yeah. I just, so I would put the people on my calendar that I had it in my radar. I was going to call them anyway. I was going to follow up with them, so I just tell them about the Prove It Challenge. And then it came naturally, and it felt like it was authentic.
Okay. I want to commend you though for what you've done. That's awesome.
Yes. My girl.
Yes. Okay. Who else wants to share?
I'll share.
Go ahead.
So the next door neighbors that moved in last October, we've been becoming pretty good friends with. They're young. They're like my kids' age. My kids are kind of freaked out that they hang with us. They're like, why are they hanging with you guys? You're old. I'm like, we're cool. So anyways.
Because you know how to build relationships.
Yeah, we really have a good time with them. They came over one night and spent they were over at 7, didn't leave till 12:30, and we just talked and we had a lot in common. So anyway, she went on the Prove It Challenge. He decided he wanted to do the 180 starter instead of the Prove It. She already has one person that she referred. He's got 2 more people that he referred.
Awesome.
It's awesome how it's just so easy. It's ridiculous. So of course now I'm talking about being a distributor, which I've done casually before, but they're kind of like they've been approached by millions of other people already, right? So I'm doing it very cautious and just saying, they just double their income just with their Prove It Challenge referrals. Just that would be doubling their income for that. Yeah. So I'm just doing it very gently, but he's an EMT, she's a nurse, they'd be perfect. And I think she wants to stay home with the kids once they get married and have kids. They're not even engaged yet, so I'm kind of rushing things. But really good prospects. And then I have 2 more that I'm still working on as far as the business goes and the Prove It Challenges. I'm speaking at a summit. It's a wellness center in my area. It's where they have a therapy and stuff. And they asked me to be a guest speaker, so I'm doing that this Thursday. And I think they have 4 people that have RSVP'd already. And it's just basically how food choices will influence your brain health and strategies for that. So the Prove It Challenge is going to come in right with that, right? So that's my solutions are going to be for that. So I'm working on the presentation for that. It's hard when you're starting from scratch and you have all this information. It's like, how do you?
I know.
They wanted me to talk for like 2 hours. I'm like, that's too long for people to sit there and talk.
I know.
So I'm just going to try
training
to make
us
it as interactive as possible and let people ask questions and, just try to get into the nitty gritty for their stuff. But it could be good. I mean, I'm already scheduled for another talk in September with them. So it was really good connection. So we'll see what happens with that. Mm-hmm.
Oh, that's wonderful. Wonderful,
I'm
wonderful.
excited.
Cool. Susie, what about you? What's been going on with you?
Well, I've been following up with all of my, because our current group, they only have till August 31st to get the 159 for the Prove It Challenge. So I've already emailed everybody, and then I let them know that I'm going to be, calling them. So, and I'm focusing on my distributors first because they only have till the 15th with this whole loyalty rewards that they want that to kick in for this month. So a funny thing about that is, so one of the distributors I talked to last week, it's just, and I whenever I call somebody, I always say, is this a good time to talk? Well, she said yes, but it really wasn't because the conversation was kind of like wah, last week. I told her what was going on, and she just kind of was a Debbie Downer about everything. But then she called me up today, and she says, okay, now remind me again about the loyalty thing, because I want to put in my auto ship, and I want to make sure it gets in before the 15th, and can I put it in for so that was good. So sometimes, if somebody's having a bad day, as long as you give them a call or talk to them, just give them an update, let them know that you're coming from a good place, and then they'll come back. And I've been doing a lot of social media posting. She just kind of put it out there.
Where have you been doing most of your posting?
So I've been doing Instagram stories. And then today I did Instagram posts. I have my Facebook page and my personal, my regular Facebook. So I've been doing stories on those. And at the airport coming home from conference, sitting at the bar next to me were 2 girls that were left the LinkedIn conference.
Oh.
So I said, okay, what was your big takeaway? What is, some of the things that you got from this year's conference? I said, well, really nothing new. And so they were, I said, okay, well, what can you tell somebody that's on LinkedIn to get the best, is it from advertising or what? And she goes, well, how many contacts do you have? So I look at my phone, I go, I have 797. She goes, you're good. Just post away. So I got one of them to be in my LinkedIn group now too. So I've been focusing on posting on LinkedIn as well.
So are you doing the same kind of, because I've got 800 and some on there as well. And when I look at, there's nobody that posts on there.
I notice,
very
at least
few.
in my circle, there's a few that post all the time and they come up. So I'm going to start being one of those people that post all the time. So that's who they're going to see. And, and a funny thing is, so this past, pardon?
The same kind of posts?
I will do, because what I do is from Instagram, and then I save it to a video, so then I could post that. So then they're kind of fun to look at. And then sometimes I'll do, well, like yesterday, I did my video. I did a live video feed on Instagram. And okay, so the first time I did it, I actually somehow deleted the last part of it, but it's okay. I mean, the information was in there. I mean,
It's learning, right?
It was like, yeah. But I mean, I was able to post that whole thing though on LinkedIn. So it was just my results from the 7-day cleanse and saying, just in case I know you guys have been seeing my Facebook and Instagram posts, and I just wanted to give you my results from the cleanse, and just kind of trying to build that relationship and because there's somebody else that's a Facebook friend that she's been doing, I don't know, for the past year or whatever. It's a new company, and it's the coffee, that chocolate coffee, diet
For
thing.
weight loss.
And because she's like one of their main new distributors, she's done very well with it, but it's like she's got all these health issues, so whatever. But I kind of saw how she did it, and she just kind of, it was that she was creating a lot of FOMO and just building that relationship that way. So I'm like, there is something to that. I mean, this is what Shackley's doing. So
yes. And I've been following Bob Heilig. Do you guys know him at all?
yes.
Okay. I've been in his personal group for quite a while, and he just did a big masterclass on Instagram. I pay the $57 a month to stay in there. And he said, I want you guys to post 7 to 8 times a day in Instagram stories. And
Wow.
oh my man, but he said, do it and listen. He said, watch and see what happens. You will be absolutely blown away. I don't understand what the purpose is of that many times a day. So, and I guess I'll learn that, but I don't know if that makes more people see you. So are you guys on Instagram with your names, or are you under some funny thing? Okay.
Name.
Yeah.
Cool.
Mhm.
Cool. Okay.
I'm
I
not
have a
sure
question.
whether to move it to business or keep it at personal.
He hasn't addressed that yet.
Because I have a personal account now, but it keeps asking me if I want to switch to a business, but I'm not sure if there's more functionality one way or another, or
There's
Well-
benefits to not becoming a business, I think.
there's perks not to.
To not, yes.
Here's the thing, because I was business, and then I wanted to link it to, my personal Facebook. So it wouldn't let me do that. You can only do to a page. So then I switched it to personal, but then after I watched Kristen's thing last week, and
What is she?
there are benefits to being business, because I think there's tracking, and like you could track things, and I don't know if it was with the algorithms or whatever that makes you more visible. So the thing is, though, I started having it syncing with my Facebook page, but then it kind of is redundant because a lot of people that are on my page also see my personal stuff. So I turned that off, and now I just do the Instagram, save it as a video, and then I post the same thing on Facebook. So I don't have to, it kind of creates a little bit more work, but
it's
have
not
all the
the
little
same
fun
thing.
little.
And I know there's something about using that button that Facebook does not like.
That too, I heard something about that. Yeah.
Yes. So doing it the way you're doing it, it's a different piece of content because you're saving it from your phone. Like if you ever have a post on Facebook that you like and you'd like to share it, copy it on your phone, copy the wording, and give credit to whoever it's from. But copy that text into either your notepad on your phone or into Word on your computer. So when you're posting, it actually is like a brand new post, because Facebook does not like you to share other people's stuff either.
Right.
Isn't that interesting?
And I'm kicking myself because I didn't take a before picture before the 7-day cleanse. So the people that have been doing their posting on Shackley's cleanse page showing their results, and they're giving permission to people. I've been sharing their stuff on mine, so it's like as if they're clients or whatever. Oh, congrats. So, nobody knows.
Cool. Yeah.
We're all
That's what they're
family.
here for.
Exactly.
We're all family.
Exactly. Anybody that puts their before and after on there does it because they want to share it.
Right.
Yeah. So awesome. I want to, if you guys are okay with it, I would love to share some stuff that I learned today from Danelle. It was about the brain and about your belief and what's keeping you from moving forward, what's keeping you doing as much as you can get by with, because that's what I have been good at for a long time. And it always comes down to our belief. Our belief system is we love Shackley to the nth degree, all of us do. It's our core. But what is stopping us from talking? We all know so many people that we have not talked to. So what is it that's stopping us? And it's, of course, it's our belief. And the way she explained this just really like hit home to me today, that we have 3 sections in our brain, and each section does another part. So I had to hear this over and over and over. Always said, I'm healthy and I can't lose weight. Ever since my divorce, I've never been able to lose weight. Actually, I was heavier. I gained all my weight in the last part of my divorce, and I think that was from all the cortisol, or the last part of my marriage. And then, I've always said, I can lose a few, but I gain it right back. I lose a few and I gain it right back. So I just can't lose weight. So that was the belief system that I had for all this time. So the first part of the brain is the reptilian part of the brain. Do you guys know this stuff? I don't know it. Anyways, that's the part of the brain that you'll do what is necessary to survive. And these are the people that you deal with that always want free. They always want the free. That's the part of the brain that they're in. But we have to always work to change our belief. So we all know who those people are, right? The next part of your brain is the lymphic system. And that's the part of the brain that always wants to feel good. And I never realized how much I live there. That what I do what's necessary to feel good. Okay? And that's where I have lived for many, many years. But the last part is the ration part of the brain. What did she call it? I can't remember what the last part of the brain was. But it's ration thoughts. Those are always the very, very top earners. We have to rationalize. So we have to train our brain to build new beliefs and systems. Patterns that we have is what keeps us where we are. I'll know that. So those patterns have to be broken. And there's only one way to break it. Those patterns are built because of what we've been through. Some of it's protection, but we have to always drive to get down to our core value. And risk is the number one thing. It's the biggest way to engage the rational part of your brain. And it's like, you know what? When you think about it, when you have risk, that's when you're excited. That's when things are to me, when you're doing something that's risky is when it's always the most fun. And we have to do something every single day to feed that belief of whatever it is. You guys told me what your short-term goals were, what your long-term goals were, what your longer ones were. But is there something every single day that you're doing that makes you believe that that's going to be a reality? Or is it one of those, because we're in Shaklee, we've always said we're going to be master coordinators, right? We've always said that. Have we really believed it deep down here? Have we really taken the risks that are necessary to get there, right? So there's something that is a weakness in each of us that's preventing us from going forward and doing that. There's something that we're hanging on to, and we have to work to rewrite that. And that's where that risk is going to come in, is to rewrite that. So when I started and I talked about the weight thing, so Danelle said, and she said this multiple times, and she was heavier. And she said, I was told, she mentors with Tim Grover. I don't know if you know who he is. And Grant Cardone. And I mean, these guys that are all way up there, but that's who her mentor is. And they said, Danelle, you need to start taking care of yourself. I heard her say that. So she did. She started doing every single day, running a mile. It doesn't matter what's going on. And she finally decided, I have to do it when it's the hardest for me, which is at noontime when it's 94 degrees outside. And I said, you're nuts. But that's what it takes for her. And then one of the other girls who's in our class, there's only 10 of us, but one of the other girls who's in our mastermind, she did her video that she's putting out there, and she talked about that, and she's a trainer. And she talked about that part, and I don't know what it was, but something connected in with me finally. So, and until you have every area of your life in balance, you can never move forward and be successful. And that's the area that is so out of balance on me. I'm healthy. I always say I'm healthy, but people look at me and say, "You're really healthy?" You know? I can run circles around a lot of people. I have a lot of energy. I'm not sick ever, you know, all of that. But so the second thing is to achieve something that you don't know that you can do. So what we often do is we'll set a goal that's bigger than and we don't do the risks, and we don't make that goal, and then we just console ourselves and say, "Oh, it's okay." So what do? We go back to the previous, I thought you said lymphatic, but that's not what it was. The lymphic system. We go back to that, back into the emotional part. And it's okay. You know, we can be excited while we're working on it. But we have to know exactly what we're going to do, set a difficult goal and achieve it. And her thing is to set a difficult goal for the next 30 days. And do not underdeliver. And then, of course, it's training, doing skills, tactical, build a company like a business. Don't copy scripts. So that's a big thing she hates. Be authentic, like we were talking before. And then the other big thing of this part of the brain is to give. You can give of money, you can give of time, or you can give of yourself. We all give of ourself. Okay? Anybody that's in this company gives of ourself, but she says she feels it's important to give financially. And she said, set yourself up with a goal that's so big that it scares you. Commit to an organization that you're going to do X amount of income. And then you have to work your butt off to do it so you don't have pie in your face, right? It's an awful big risk to tell somebody that you're going to do that. Your brain grows when you give. I found that interesting. So set a monthly goal to give, and that will change patterns that will work against different weaknesses that you have. Challenge your beliefs. You know, look at what is holding you back and challenge those beliefs, because you guys have all been in Shaklee long enough that we all have that same blood. We all want it so bad. But how big is the risk that we're willing to take to get there? Mm-hmm. So, and then the other thing that we have a new regional manager, and he shared this with us today. And he compared us to a aspen tree. And I thought, okay, where's this going? So an aspen tree is a tree that can withstand tremendous like winds and hail and storms more than almost any other tree. And it's because what happens is their roots lock together and they help hold each other up. And I thought, you know what, that's what our team is about really holding each other up, holding each other accountable, and moving forward. So we can withstand those risks that we decide to take to move us up to the next level. So that's kind of what I wanted to share with you tonight. So
that was good.
Anything else that you guys want to share?
I'm good for now. I hope to have more to share next week.
Cool. I lost 10 pounds on my Prove It, or did you see that?
Awesome.
I did.
You're already starting.
I know. And you know what? It was very good for me to go through it because it was easy. Did you guys find it easy?
Yeah. I think each time it gets easier. Like this one, I felt it was pretty much a breeze, and there was
I
no
know.
problem.
I've had people saying, "Oh man, I've got such gut problems," and I'm like, "Really?" I'm like shocked. Or one of the girls said, "I'm sitting in a meeting and my stomach is talking to everybody. I can't even move my mouth because it's making so much noise." And what would you say to somebody like that?
They probably need more water.
That's it. She said she was drinking a lot.
Hmm.
So my suggestion to her was, maybe you need the protein. She was an extremely heavy woman.
Hmm.
So I don't know but she was fine after that.
Hmm.
I've had some people do protein with it. People who have blood sugar issues,
Mhm.
protein.
Mhm.
I got to tell you, the first two times I did I've always added at least 1 scoop a day to the cleanse. I mean, it's vegetable. I know it's soy, and you're not supposed to have
Exactly.
gluten, but that's what I did the first couple times, and I did it. Yeah, I still get results, and I know
sure.
they say you want to give your body a break from the protein, but spinach is protein, so
You can't live without protein. I mean, Dr. Shackley always said, if you quit everything but one, let it be the protein you remain on. So that was part of my cleanse.
yeah.
Yeah, it's easier with the protein for sure. I mean, there's protein in fruits and veggies. There is, but I missed my morning protein. I did.
Yeah.
I just
Well,
did a 1 scoop like you said, Susie. That's what I
Yeah.
did. Yeah.
So
That way
I
I
had
didn't
2
feel so
scoops of
guilty.
life and I had 2 scoops of life and one of instant every single day.
Mm.
But I still did good. And
Mhm.
I know that it's because of all the fruits and vegetables. So
Well, Doug and I continue to eat the cleanse diet, the cleanse way, like 3 to 4 days a week, just because we feel so much better when we do it
yeah,
with the protein. We'll do the protein and then like all veggies and fruits the rest of the day, like 3 or 4 days a week.
I ordered one of these meal things thinking that, one of these good meal things, rice.
Pre-cooked food.
And it was good. Like tonight was, what was it, pork patatas or something like that, and Spanish rice. And then there were beans and veggies in with the rice or in with the meat, but it's just not the same.
Right.
Mm.
But I spent it, so I'm going to use it.
Mhm.
How many days of that do you have, or did you purchase?
2 weeks.
Okay.
Yeah. It's some new company I'd never heard of.
Mm-hmm.
So
We use those too, Nina, but we get the vegetarian ones. And they seem to be, a little healthier, and, you're just eating vegetables pretty much, but they're pretty interesting, the way that the ingredients that they have.
So who did you do with?
Well, I'm trying to think of the name of it. My son does it, so I don't know. He always does it. He cooks it, so I don't know. I'll have to get it to you. But different ones. I think there's a lot of, even the Hello Fresh ones have vegetarian ones.
Yeah.
Depends on what the things that you pick.
Yeah.
You can
Right.
pick, meat ones or vegetarian ones, or we always pick the vegetarian ones most of the time.
Well, this one is called Freshly. So my daughter's very much into labels, and she read all the labels, and she's like, "Wow, Mom, I'm impressed."
Mm.
But it's different when you're eating everything that's just real food.
Right.
Mhm.
But no rice, no pasta, no bread, right?
Good. Good.
Yeah. But I always make homemade bread, but I don't even eat that now. So
Mm.
okay.
All right. So summing up what the stuff that the training that you had that you were sharing today. So we want to set a goal that is bigger than we think that we could tackle. We want to add something new to our day that changes the habits that we've been in. And then the third thing was giving back or do.
Yes. So on the achieving part, when you set that goal, though, you want to have a plan.
Right.
Of exactly what you're going to do. So, and every time you do this, it's scary. And I think it's because it's risky.
You know, I came across, I can't function well in clutter, and my desk had because I feel I need to at least have things organized because I feel like I'm scatterbrained then. You know, once I have my desk clean and I feel like, okay, now I can move forward.
So are you a detail person?
Pardon?
Are you a detail person?
Yeah. Can you? Yeah. You know, that the whole color thing. And I am trying to become more blue, more fun. And, you know,
It's okay. It's okay.
because I know that's my weakness is I always want to get to the facts instead of thinking, oh, the fun, think of the fun. So anyways, I came across Rick Seymour's 5-year plan where it's like, just focus on you know, you don't have to have it right away. Just focus on building, you know, 2 to 3 directors per year, which, you know, yeah, that would be great too. And then teaching them to do the same thing at the 3,000 volume. And after the 5 years, yeah, you're over 200,000 in income. And I mean, even half of that would be great, you know? So,
you know, it's so interesting though, because we've all done those plans, right? So it's very interesting when you set a plan like that. And like you said, just build 2 directors a year. And then what happens when you say that? What happened to your thought process immediately?
well, you first think it's doable. And then I'm like, okay, now what would the plan be? So they said you had to talk to 100 people to get 10 yeses. And then from those 10 yeses, you'll get one distributor one distributor. So there's a lot of people you have to talk to. So that's where the social media comes in.
Oh, I know. But it's so easy for us to go back to our other patterns.
Yes.
You know that, okay, so I'm going to build this. Are they going to stay this time?
Mm-hmm.
You know, one thing that I am very blessed with my Shackley income.
Mm-hmm.
The group that you guys have is all going to the bank, so there's no income there yet. To borrow the money to buy it.
Right.
But I've been so blessed with it. But you know what? I've lost a lot of directors, and that gives me super high volume.
Mm-hmm.
And when you've got super high volume as a senior executive, I'm making what most keys make.
Right.
You know? So, and that's one thing that Danelle always has said. You have to not look at rank as much as what is it that you want for an income.
Right.
Because rank, when you've been around for a long time, can be very disheartening to you. So don't look at, okay, what is it? I need to help how many people? You just said you want to help 2 new people this year.
Mm-hmm.
Become directors or doing a good, strong 3,000.
Right.
Yeah. So when we take the focus off from, we have to have those goals of what we want, but then it has to be the focus on them, right?
Exactly. Because it does have to be about them for them to, number one, want it, and then remind them of why they want it. So then they all, you know, also make it as part of their daily routine and motivation.
You just got to find somebody like yourself, right? That wants it.
Well, I got my daughter, my son, my future son-in-law, but then I also have another one. She wasn't able to be at conference this year because, you know, like Julie, it was with it being in those days of the week, you know, when it's towards the weekend, they can do that, but it was all weekdays. That just wasn't doable. She has a few vendor events coming. In fact, she's got one a week from Friday that she's doing at a health fair. And then I also have another builder that she has her own salon. I mean, that's a tough one. And I'm not really banking a lot on that because she's not very coachable, but
Got to
wants
ask her more questions. I will tell you, being a detail person, it's harder for you to ask all the questions because you want to tell them everything.
Oh, and that's the thing is she's very detailed too. And she does tell you everything, what you want to know or not. So.
As Roland always says, it takes a lot of patience because you have to ask questions and shut your mouth.
Yes.
Mm-hmm.
You
And
know.
learn from your mistakes. Like I built people's business for them in the past.
I think we all have.
And I mean, gosh, I had this girl named Marcy, and we went on 1,000 presentations, and it was 3-hour presentations every time. And yeah, she was great. She's so all in. She orders a ton of Shaklee, but it's like she got burned out from the business part totally. And another thing that I've learned to do is not to approach people that I would need to coach into the mindset and coach into the health thing and the coach. I want people of higher caliber. Like that's why I'm talking to therapists. I'm talking to nurses. I'm talking to PMCs. I'm talking to people that are like, don't need to be pulled up. I mean, yes, they need Shaklee too, but it's like energy vampires. They end up sucking all your time. They truly do. And you feel comfortable approaching them because you feel like they're more approachable because they're maybe not as socially status as you. I don't want to put it that way, but you know what I'm talking about.
How Danelle says it is that we are all fives. We're all fives.
Yeah.
And always look for
5 and above.
6, 7, 8, 9s, and 10s.
Mm-hmm.
So it doesn't
It's more comfortable to approach 2s and 3s.
Yes.
Totally
so it
more
doesn't
comfortable.
matter where you are on that status, you're a 5.
Mm-hmm.
Now you need to look at a 6, 7, and 8.
Right.
9. In other words, always. I remember Art Attila. Do you remember those guys, Art and Sherry Attila?
Mm-hmm. Mm-hmm.
I remember Art Attila saying, and then you had a guy who was a somebody, and he sponsored a 4. And then that somebody sponsored a 3. And that somebody sponsored a 2. And pretty soon you had a bunch of somebodies that nobody knew anybody.
Mm-hmm.
You know, and the way he did it was really, really good. But
that makes sense though.
Yeah.
But, you know, you learn from your mistakes. And the one thing that helped me, you know, with that master coordinator, we all want to be master coordinators. They're just directors. They're just directors that helped a lot of people become directors. And it's finding some dynamic people that are just go-getters and will take off on their own. It's the luck of the draw too. You know, it's the luck of your find and.
Well, and your focus. Roland always says to us, look for people who want to because back when we got started, it was all about becoming a coordinator, becoming a director and helping 4 get there. And they were all at 3,000 PV. So that's equivalent to our executive coordinators today.
Mm-hmm.
So if you've got 4 executive coordinators, you're a master. Right? Mm-hmm. Because you're not going to have just 4 executives. You're going to have a
couple directors,
senior, and so you get 4 executives and you'll be a master.
Mm-hmm.
So other things that you guys are talking about right now, that's another thing I came across when I was cleaning up yesterday and getting rid of some old stuff is I still had like workbooks from past conferences. And so I just looked through to see any notes or takeaways that I wanted to still keep. And there was one that, what you're saying right now, find your pearls. And the PEARLS is, you know, like positive people would be the P. E is enthusiastic. A, attractive, I think it was. R, that is good at building relationships. L, I had to look back, but I kept that note. But it's like, it's so funny because the things that we're talking about, it's like, I came across some gems yesterday.
Yeah. It's all the same thing. And you know what, whether you're doing it online or you're doing it in person, every single thing that we did in person before, we do the same thing online now. You teach online the same way that you taught before.
Mm-hmm.
You know, what you just found, some of those cool things, type them up and put them out there.
That's exactly what I did. Yep. Oh, but I need to you're right. I should put them on social media. That would be good to put on LinkedIn. Yes. Thank you.
Yeah. And that's what those old notebooks are valuable for. When I went to Bob Heilig, he said, do you know you have such a huge library of old notes, I bet.
Oh, yeah.
He said, do you know what gems those are?
In fact, as we're talking, I'm going to grab something else because you keep mentioning Bob Heilig, and that's another thing I came across. See, a lot of great things when you start cleaning your office.
Yeah.
I came across I think his workbook or worksheet on tips on how to post on social media. Wait, it's in here somewhere because I just put it. I'm like, this is a keeper. Yep, right here. Revive Your Downline Challenge PDF Guide, Bob Helig. This. I came across this. So I didn't bother to open it, but I thought that's something I want to keep and I'll look at it later. But
Well, and then just post different little pieces out of them.
yeah.
Because that's been my challenge a lot of times is, but what Danelle says is you have to always have a through line so that everything goes according to whatever your core beliefs are. You know, don't jump here and there and everywhere. So mine are faith, family, and business. So that's what my post should be about, those three. So anyways, I will shut up, you guys. It was good seeing you again this week. Anything else anybody wants to share?
Or sorry, next Monday at what time? At
Same time.
7 your time? Okay.
Same time. Yes.
Sounds good.
I'm going to Nashville Friday to a conference. It's called Grow Your Business for God's Sake. So
That'll be good.
about that. Yeah.
Awesome.
So,
Well, thank you so much for doing these for us. I appreciate it.
oh, for sure. For sure. For sure.
Thank you,
And-
Nina.
Talk
I love
to you next week.
All right, everybody have a great week.
All right,
Yes.
safe travels.
Yes.
See
Thank
ya.
you.
Okay. Bye-bye.
Fun.
Bye.
Bye-bye.